Republic Act 9147, Wildlife Resources Conservation and Protection Act.
What is RA 9147? The Republic Act number 9147, also known as the Wildlife Resources Conservation and Protection Act, is an act which provides conservation of wildlife species in their habitats to preserve and encourage ecological balance and biological diversity. Furthermore, this act provides for the control and supervision of wildlife capture, hunting, and trade. The provision of this act is enforceable to all wildlife species found in all areas of the country, including the protected areas, as per the Republic Act number 7586 or the National Integrated Protected Area System or the NIPAS Act, and to exotic species that could be traded, live, or bred in captivity or propagated in the country. The Department of Environment and Natural Resources, or the DENR, have jurisdiction over all terrestrial plants and animal species like turtle and tortoises, crocodiles, water birds, and all amphibians and dugong, while the Department of Agriculture, or the DA, have jurisdiction over all declared critical aquatic habitats and resources, including all fishes, aquatic plants, invertebrates, and all marine mammals except dugong. What is the penalty to those who committed or undertakes illegal act pertaining to wildlife species and their habitats? Under the RA 9147, the penalty depends not only on the act committed but also on the conservation status of the wildlife. The highest penalties are imposed to those guilty of killing critically endangered wildlife with a jail term of 6 years and 1 day to 12 years, or fine payment ranging from 100,000 to 1 million pesos. RA 9147 is a consolidation of House Bill number 10622 and Senate Bill number 2128 and was passed by the House of Representatives by Roberto P. Nazareno and the Senate by Secretary Lotgardo B. Barbo on February 8, 2001 and March 20, 2001, respectively. Later, it was approved and signed on July 30, 2001 by President Gloria Macapagal Arroyo.
Every living organism plays an important role in our ecosystem. However, when humans overexploit the diverse species for the illegal wildlife trade, it poses a major threat to biodiversity loss and results in an imbalanced ecosystem. The increase in human population growth is paralleled by a high demand for wildlife resources to meet various needs of people to survive. Illegal wildlife trade is a global issue, and many people such as illegal animal traffickers, hunters, and poachers are involved in this illegal act due to high profit. A devastating number of species are hunted illegally for trophy items, delicacies, medicinal use, exotic pets, food consumption, experimental and commercial purposes. This has become a threat to the extinction of many endangered species worldwide. One example is the Palawan pangolins, which have declined by up to 95% in the last 40 years. Between 2018 to 2019, pangolin trading increased ninefold in the Philippines, where the authorities confiscated an estimated 6,894 illegally traded pangolins for meat consumption and medicinal purposes. Authorities also seized 20 pangolins from a local wildlife trafficker in El Nido, Palawan, while in Puerto Princesa City, they confiscated 1,154 kilograms of pangolin scales and other wildlife parts. It has also been discovered that pangolin meat is being served in at least 5 restaurants in Manila and there are shops selling pills that were manufactured in China using pangolin derivatives. From 2015 to 2019, the US confiscated over 48,000 wild animals. In Southeast Asia, the Asian elephant population has declined by 50% over the past century. The 4 species of Asian pangolins are now among the most poached animals in the world. Southeast Asian birds such as the helmeted hornbill are now listed as critically endangered due to the popularity of their carved skulls. Among the Asian rhinos, Sumatra and Java are critically endangered, numbering fewer than 80 and 70 in the wild. It reveals that despite the fact that the government has implemented laws and preventive measures, some illegally sourced wildlife and wildlife products from domestic and international sources were not detected and seized.
The increasing growth of the human population continues to have a great impact on the environment. Since the population can grow exponentially, the depletion of natural resources occurs rapidly, resulting in specific environmental concerns such as global warming, deforestation, and decreasing biodiversity. The damaging human activity leads to the destruction of habitat of countless species. As our number rise, cities, infrastructure, and cropland are growing and merging into each other, fragmenting the remaining habitat and leaving isolated islands of natural populations of plants and animals too small to survive. Human activities such as illegal logging, mining, agricultural development, destructive fishing practices, forest clearing, and road building for land use and development, and various purposes have caused detrimental effects on the environment, destroying habitats. Furthermore, natural calamities such as earthquakes, landslides, wildfires, floods, droughts, volcanic eruptions, and tsunamis have a great contribution to the destruction of habitats and extinction of wild species.
The Philippines is not just a home to beautiful travel destinations, but it is also a home to thousands of species. There are thousands of species of flora and fauna in the Philippines, and there are now many endangered species heading to extinction, mostly due to human activities. One of the issues protected by IRA 9147 is the extinction of species. Due to human activities that harms the ecosystem as well as the animals, an irreversible loss of part of the biological richness of the earth arises. Extinction can be a natural occurrence caused by an unpredictable catastrophe, chronic environmental stress, or ecological interactions such as competition, disease, or predation. Extinction of species is caused because of habitat loss, unintroduced species, pollution, population growth, and overconsumption. Habitat degradation is currently the main anthropogenic cause of species extinctions. It is mostly caused by illegal logging, illegal fishing, using dynamite, agriculture advancement, and mining. Today, 93 or 36% of endemic species are threatened with extinction in the Philippine archipelago.
Each time a species goes extinct, the world around us unravels a bit. The consequences are profound, not just in those places and for those species, but for all of us. More than a century of habitat destruction, pollution, the spread of invasive species, overharvest from the wild, climate change, population growth, and other human activities have pushed nature to the edge. The Philippines is a consumer, source, and transit point for illegal wildlife trade, threatening endemic species populations, economic development, and biodiversity. Recognizing the threats of the illegal wildlife trade to the country's biodiversity and economy, the Philippine government passed legislation, created interagency groups to combat the trade in illegal wildlife and wildlife parts, and is building capacity across the law enforcement chain. The Republic Act 9147, known as the Wildlife Resources Conservation and Protection Act, addresses wildlife crimes and the guide to prioritizing enforcement activities, allocating funds and resources, and evaluating impacts of enforcement. Just like people, animals need homes. But when too many forests are cleared to plant crops and build roads, and too many seabeds are destroyed to gather fish, creatures struggle to survive. Habitats are often disrupted to create more stuff for people. So let us try our best to use less, reuse, and conserve minerals.
One of the main issues in Panay is the illegal cutting of trees, and Lawin leads to illegal loggers' arrest in Region 6. Another issue pertains to the illegal trading, which threatens the Western Visayas wildlife. The Regional Office of the Department of Environment and Natural Resources, Region 6, expressed concern about the illegal wildlife trading activities in Western Visayas.
Human activities have a great impact on wildlife, especially those who have a negative effect on our environment. Humans are the ones who are responsible for taking care of the environment. But instead of fulfilling our duties, we are doing illegal activities that lead to the destruction of wildlife and biodiversity. These illegal activities not only affect the environment, it also has a negative impact on us humans. In order for us to help on the conservation and protection of the wildlife, we can be a volunteer. Participate in a cleanup drive along the sidewalks or beaches in your community. Speak up. Share to your family, friends, or to everyone in your community the importance of wildlife conservation and share to them the different ways of helping the wildlife. Buy responsibly. Stop buying products that are made from endangered animal skin. By this, we can stop wildlife trafficking. Throw your garbage properly. Trash belongs to trash cans, not on the beaches and streets. This trash pollutes everyone's resources. Let us be responsible by putting this in its right place. Practice recycling. The Minnesota Zoo encourages its people to recycle mobile phones in order to lessen the demand of mineral coltan, which is mined from lowland gorillas' habitat. Through recycling, we can also reduce our garbage and pollution.